Hello everyone. I've decided to do a review on the just recently released Fleetwood Mac box set of 1969 to 1974. Now, normally I'm a vinyl collector and I haven't collected CDs in a long time, but I am a hardcore Fleetwood Mac fan since 1992, especially of this era. This is the Rumors era, before there was a Stevie Nicks and a Lindsey Buckingham, and even in some cases there was a couple here before there was a Christine McVie, who was in Chicken Shack at the time when the first release of this album on Warner's. Now, the original lineup was Peter Green, Jeremy Spencer, Mick Fleetwood, and John McVie, and they were on Blue Horizon for their first two albums and a few other compilation albums. And then Danny Kerwin joined as the lead guitar singer as well, to coincide with Peter Green. And then this is the set that features that lineup, but also features the big change, which is what I call the Bob Welch era. And I would like to do a CD review of these. They are remastered and they contain great bonus tracks. I'm going to tell you the pluses and minuses I have about this box set. We start opening up right here. It's a clamshell. And the first thing, it comes with a little booklet. Now the plus is it tells all the track listing of each album, when they were released, and what comes out. What I'm disappointed in is that's all it does. It's just basic, simple booklet. I wish they would have released one with rare photos and a little history of the band for those who don't know the history of this early Fleetwood Mac. Now, we get to the first disc, Then Play On, 1969. This is the, I forgot to mention, these are packaged like the original vinyl sleeves. And this is a gatefold. And of course you can see a picture here of the original lineup. We got Danny Kerwin, Mick Fleetwood, Peter Green, John McVie, and Jeremy Spencer. Now this is the UK version of the album, which had a total of 14 tracks. In America, though, 2 of them were admitted on the first pressings, which was My Dream and When You Say. No, excuse me. The first 2 tracks that were admitted on the first US pressing were One Sunny Day and Without You. They were on the English Rose album, which was the first official American release, technically a third album, but it was mostly a compilation of singles. But this was actually considered their third proper album. It's the first with Danny Kerwin and the last with Peter Green. And the second pressings in US of this album omitted My Dream and When You Say in favor of Oh Well, which was their big hit single and probably one of their most popular tracks of that original lineup. But this has the original UK track listing, and then for bonus tracks, Oh Well Part 1 and 2, as well as the very last single with Peter Green, The Green Melody, She, backed with World in Harmony, are included. Now this remaster was actually released in 2013 with the first vinyl box set of 1969 to 1972, which featured Then Play On through Bare Trees. And this set, just released this past Friday, has a vinyl release of 1973 through 1974, and it includes a vinyl colored vinyl version, which the original 1969-72 vinyl does not. So we get to that one. This is actually my favorite album from Fleetwood Mac, and it really opened my eyes and ears and mind to that there was a Fleetwood Mac before the Buckingham Nicks Rumors era, and they were the old albums prior to him are great. Some better than others, but great. Okay, we get to the next album, released in 1970, Kiln House. And what a lot of people don't know is the album was illustrated by none other than Christine McVie, who actually played on this album as a session, but did not, was not an official band member yet. And it's the remaining members of the original Fleetwood Mac minus Peter Green. And it comes with the original insert of this. And the bonus tracks on this are the single edits of Station Man and Jewel-Eyed Judy, which are great songs, both Danny Kerwin songs. But it also has, which was at one time the rarest hard to find single, which was Dragonfly backed with The Purple Dancer, which is actually one of my favorite songs, and it's actually the only song where Jeremy Spencer and Danny Kerwin do lead vocals. And this album, like Then Play On, is fantastic. And this lineup was only short-lived. When they went on tour, they got Christine McVie to join as a permanent member, but it was during a U.S. tour in California that Jeremy Spencer disappeared in Los Angeles and joined the Children of God. And the history of that tour, to finish the tour, their manager was able to get Peter Green to rejoin and finish the tour, but he of course did not stay, and mentally he was kind of far gone at that time. But this is one of my favorites, and bless that finally Purple Dancer has finally got a CD release, or a digital release. Unfortunately, these have not been available on any digital formats like iTunes yet. Hopefully they will. Now we're coming to another absolute favorite of mine, and it's called Future Games. This was released in 1971, and it's the first album where Christina is an official member, and also the first album with Bob Welch. And this one and the next album, which I will follow, it's just saying that this lineup only made 2 albums, because this lineup was my other favorite next to the original Peter Green lineup. And it's a big move, it's a big step away from the blues rock era, and it's kind of the beginning of what they were gonna thrive towards as the California sound, but not quite there yet. And here's the back of the cover. Great songs for those who are Danny Kerwin fans like I am. Woman of 1,000 Years, Sometimes, Sands of Time, great songs. Christine's 2 songs, Morning Rain, Show Me a Smile, and Bob Welch's Lay It On Down, as well as the title track. To me, there's not one bad song on this album. Now, the bonus tracks is what I'm actually kind of pleased with as well. Well, basically, you get the single edit of Sands of Times, but you get alternate versions of Sometimes, Lay It All Down, which that version was kind of an edited version of that was released on the 1992 box set, The Chain 25 Years of Fleetwood Mac. Show Me a Smile, and an unedited version of What a Shame, which the album version is just an instrumental, but the unedited version you hear some vocals, mainly from Danny and Bob. And they're short, but it's very highlighted. And another one is a bonus track never released, which is a Bob Welch track called Stone. And it's just basically Bob Welch and an acoustic guitar, and I like it a lot. It's a really good song. It is a really good song, and it's great to have. Also, the mastering, the sound quality on these compared to the originals are great. I have no complaints on the sound quality and the remastering of these CDs. Okay, the next up is the Bare Trees album, 1972. This, unfortunately, would be the last album Danny Kerwin was in, as he got fired in the summer of that year when, well, apparently he had problems getting along with the band members, and a night before 5 minutes before they were supposed to do a gig, Kerwin got pissed off at Welch over a tuning argument, smashed his guitar, refused to play, and the band played without him, and found out he was sitting by the soundboard in the audience watching them the whole time. And Mick Fleetwood did have to fire that night, and they had to cancel the rest of the tour. But back to this album. A lot of people, I like Future Games better, but a lot of people favor this album, and rightly so. It is a great album. Child of Mine, Homeward Bound, Christine McVie's Homeward Bound, Spare Me a Little, another Christine McVie great, Sunny Side of Heaven, a Danny Kerwin guitar instrumental, not acoustic, but a guitar instrumental, beautiful song. Title track to Bare Trees, Dust, and of course Bob Welch has 2 tracks on here, The Ghost and his infamous Sentimental Lady, which he made a hit out of when he went solo in 77 with the help of members of Fleetwood Mac. And the bonus tracks on this, I'm pleased but disappointed in. Back to the book here. Trinity is on here, which is a great song. It's a great Danny Kerwin track. It was originally released on the 1992 25 Years the Chain box set. What I'm disappointed in is this one's a mono mix, and it's missing a lot of guitar sounds that were in the stereo mix, and as well as the beat and rhythm is kind of a watered down. So I'm not really keen on the mono mix of this. It's got a single edit of Sentimental Lady and a live track of Homeward Bound, which it does not get into details on when it was recorded, but I know it had to be recorded during the Bare Trees tour, because you can hear Danny Kerwin's guitar licks if you were very familiar with Kerwin's guitar playing. He was probably, next to Peter Green, he was probably one of the best guitar players Fleetwood Mac had up until Lindsey Buckingham joined. And I'm pleased that it's a live recording of that track is on, but where's the rest of the live recordings from that tour? It would have been nice for them to release that whole show, even if it was just an opening act. That would have been great to hear. As I've had some bootleg that are decent, but they're audience recordings. It'd be nice to get an actual soundboard recording of that. Okay, the next album, Penguin, came out in 73, and it's got the original gatefold, which is in color. And when the CD was released in 80, I think it's 88, 89, I'm not sure, the picture was black and white. But this has Dave Walker and Bob Weston. Dave Walker was vocals from Savoy Brown, and Bob Weston was a guitar player. And his lead guitar player is good, but he really, I guess he's very underrated due to the fact he was replacing Danny Kerwin. And you can tell the songwriting is just basically between Christine and Bob. And Christine's songwriting and contributions were starting to get a lot better. Not that she was bad in the first place, but you can tell she was basically the one that was going to carry the band. No disrespect to Bob Welch. He has some good songs in his day, but he couldn't make a good album worth of good songs. He was better off, like in Bare Trees and Future Games, putting 2 songs out. But all in all, this isn't a bad album. It's not one of my favorites. I'd probably rank it as my 3rd least favorite. And it's got some good tracks. It's got 2 tracks sung by Dave Walker, I'm a Roadrunner, and The Derelict. It has a song called Did You Ever Love Me, which is a Christine song. I don't remember much about Bob's songs on here. And then there's a nice instrumental called Caught in the Rain, which is a good ending. There's no bonus tracks on this album, but and for the remastering is this. I haven't heard it yet, but everybody who's gotten this set is saying that the remastering quality of this album is phenomenal. So I'll be looking forward to it soon. Then we got Mystery to Me. Came out in 1973, the same year. This is basically the same lineup minus Dave Walker, who they let go because he didn't really fit in with the band. So basically it's Christine and Bob of the songwriting ability. Now this is the better album of the wilderness years between 73 and 74. And this has the original gatefold, which has the whole entire background. Some great songs on here. Just Crazy Love, the great Christine McVie song. Why is probably my favorite song by her before the whole Buckingham Nicks era. And it's got a nice cover of the Yardbirds, For Your Loves, sung by Bob. But most importantly, it's probably got one of Bob Welch's best songs ever he did in the band, Hypnotized. All in all, like I said, it's still not one of my favorite albums, but it's a good album. It's definitely a good album. I do enjoy it. And it probably could have progressed into something better until Mick Fleetwood found out Bob Weston was having an affair with his first wife, Jenny Boyd Fleetwood at the time. Weston was fired, and the band canceled the tour, and then they found out their manager, Clifford Davies, behind their back, had a fake Fleetwood Mac band touring, which comes to the next album. In order to show Warner Brothers that they were the real Fleetwood Mac, they immigrated to California and did this album, but as a 4-piece. Heroes Are Hard to Find. I believe they used the session guitar player when they toured. And this is probably my 2nd least favorite album from Fleetwood Mac. But I will say Christine's songs on here really shine, and she was ready for when they were to find Lindsay and Stevie. She was ready to make some great songs along with them. For one thing, the title track from her is great, and Come a Little Bit Closer is probably one of my favorite. Now, I'm not criticizing Bob Welch on this. He does have some decent songs. She's Changing Me is a good song, but it just seemed like his songs did not coincide with Christine's songs. And of course, at the end of the year, after they released this in October 74, he decided to quit the band. And of course, you know what happened after that. And then last but not least, first time ever officially released live at the Record Plant 1974, December 15th, which is probably, I think, 2 weeks before Bob Welch left the band. I don't know if it's his very last performance with the Fleetwood Mac, but it is a great live recording. And they do a lot of the early Fleetwood Mac classics. Mostly Bob sings a lot of the Peter Green stuff. He does do Sentimental Lady on here. Future Games is on here. The Green Manalishi is the opening track. And of course he does Oh Well and Black Magic Woman. While Christine's, did I mention Sentimental Lady? I think I did. If I didn't, and Hypnotized. I forgot Hypnotized closes the track on this one. And of course Christine's Spare Me a Little of Your Love, Why, and Believe Me are on here. And for early Fleetwood Mac fans, even though it's from the album I least like, this is definitely a gem to be added on here. This is definitely a great gem. And it's got some photos of the band. So all in all, I would say this is a great box set to get on CD for you hardcore Fleetwood Mac fans who haven't gotten this yet and didn't like the original hissing sound of the original CD releases. And it's definitely worth getting. And I will plan on getting the vinyl, the colored vinyl version of 73 through 74, mainly because it's colored vinyl. It has the single, I forgot to mention, Mystery to Me bonus tracks. A song on here was called Good Things Come to Those Who Wait. That was originally supposed to be on Mystery to Me, and even the title was credited on the album, but it was omitted in favor For Your Love. And sorry, I forgot to mention that. But the vinyl set comes with that as a single, along with Penguin, Mystery to Me, Heroes Are Hard to Find, and Live at the Record Plant. It comes in standard black, and exclusively through Rhino it comes in colored vinyl. I am going to try and get that. If I don't, then I'm not going to get it, because I already have the regular standard original pressings. But all in all, I definitely say to you Fleetwood Mac fans, definitely look into this. You will not be disappointed. And that's my review, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And have a great day.